Today we will read chapter for visually impaired students from Pradeep publication Pradeep Inorganic Chemistry Volume 3 by Dr. K. Bhasin. The chapter is Magnetic Properties of Transition Metal Complexes. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in every atom. A revolving electron like a loop of current was shown by the noted physicist Oersted in 1820 to deflect the magnetic needle. When electron revolves in anti-clockwise direction, the current is clockwise. As a result, the upper face of the electron loop acts as the south pole and the lower face acts as north pole, as shown in figure 2.1. Thus, an electron in motion behaves as a magnetic dipole and possesses definite magnetic moment. If E is the charge on the electron revolving in an orbit or radius r with a uniform angular velocity omega, then the corresponding current produced is I is equals to charge by time, that is E by t, where t is equals to period of revolution of electron is equal to 2 pi by omega. I is equal to E by 2 pi by omega, that is equal to E naught omega divided by 2 pi. Area of the orbit A is equal to pi r square. Magnetic moment of the atom is given by m is equals to Ia is equal to E omega by 2 pi into pi r square, that is m is equal to 1 by 2 E omega r square. According to Bohr's theory, an electron in an atom can revolve only in discrete stationary orbits, in which the angular momentum of the moving electron is an integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, and where h is Planck's constant. Thus, mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi, where n represents the orbit and can have values 1, 2, 3. We know, substituting the values of v in equation 2.3, we get mvr omega into r is equal to nh upon 2 pi. Omega r square is equal to nh upon 2 pi m. Substituting the value of omega r square in equation 2.2, we get m is equal to 1 by 2 e dot nh upon 2 pi m is equal to n into eh upon xm is equal to n mu b. Mu b is equal to eh upon 4 pi m. It is clear from equation 2.5 that the magnetic moment of an atom is quantized and the smallest value of atomic dipole moment m is mu b is equal to eh upon 4 pi m. This value of m is called the Bohr magneton. Thus, Bohr magneton Bm is the magnetic moment of an electron due to the orbital motion of the electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. Since the magnetic field is produced by the moving electrical charge, it is expressed that the nuclear spin, the spin and orbital motions of the electrons will result in magnetic moment. The nuclear contribution is very small compared to the electronic contribution. Therefore, the nuclear contribution can be easily neglected. It means that the measured magnetic susceptibility of pure substances are usually associated with the electrons. Each moving electron can be regarded as a micromagnet, and the total movement exhibited by a substance is the net result of the movements of individual electrons. To define the magnetic behavior of materials, it is appropriate to understand a few terms associated with magnetism. Pole strength. The strength of a magnet may be expressed in terms of unit pole. A unit pole is defined as the pole that repels or attracts a similar pole, placed 1 cm away with the force of 1 diene. Thus, a unit intensity of magnetic field exists at the point and the unit pole experiences a force of 1 diene. Pole strength and lines of force. A magnetic field of unit intensity is considered to give a unit line of force per square centimeter. If a pole of strength m is enclosed in a sphere of radius 1 cm, a total of 4 pi m lines of force will come out of this pole. This is because the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi square centimeter. The number of lines of force per square centimeter at the surface of the sphere is given by 4 pi m divided by 4 pi is equal to m. Intensity of magnetization. It represents the extent to which a sample is magnetized when placed in a magnetic field. It is defined as the magnetic moment per unit volume of the magnet. I is equal to magnetic moment by volume. If A is the uniform area of cross section of the magnetized sample and 2L is the length of the sample, then I becomes I is equal to m into 2L upon A into 2L is equal to m by A. Thus, intensity of magnetization of a magnetic material is also defined as the pole strength per unit area of cross section of the material. Article number 2.1. Magnetic induction. When a substance is placed in a magnetic field of strength H in gauge or arrested, the total magnetic induction or magnetic flux density B within the substance is given by the relationship B is equal to H plus 4 pi I, where I is equal to intensity of magnetization. The expression 2.7 can be rewritten as B by H is equal to 1 plus 4 pi 1 by H. B by H is equal to 1 plus 4 pi K. The ratio B by H is called the magnetic permeability. A magnetic permeability is the ability of a material to permit the passage of magnetic lines of force through it. The magnetic permeability of a substance B by H is the ratio of the density of magnetic lines of force within a substance in a magnetic field to the density of lines of force in that field in the absence of the substance. The ratio 1 by H is called the magnetic susceptibility per unit volume or simply as volume susceptibility. It is a property which determines how easily a sample can be magnetized. It is this quantity that are commonly measured experimentally. Magnetic susceptibility is commonly expressed per gram as chi 4 per mole chi m. Thus, chi m is equals to m by d, where m is the molecular weight. The molar magnetic susceptibility is related to the permanent magnetic moment mu b of a pure substance by the relationship xm is equal to m mu b square by 3 kt. K is equal to Boltzmann constant, N is equal to Avogadro number, T is equal to absolute temperature in Kelvin. The permanent moment is expressed in Bohr-Magneton. Rearranging equation 2.10 we once get mu b square is equal to 3k by n into chi m into t. Mu b is equal to root 3k by n dot root chi m dot root t. Upon evaluating the constant root 3k by n, we get mu b is equal to 2.828 root chi m t. Thus, the magnetic moment mu b can be calculated from the magnetic susceptibility using the above relation. Types of magnetic materials. When a substance is placed in an external magnetic field between the poles of a magnet, the magnetic field produced by the spin and orbit motion of the electrons of the substance interacts with the external magnetic field. Different substances show different magnetic behavior when placed in the external magnetic field. On the basis of their magnetic behavior, different materials can be classified into the following three categories: diamagnetic substance, paramagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance. Diamagnetic substances. Substances which are weakly repelled by the external magnetic field are called diamagnetic substances. Diamagnetism is exhibited by the substances which allow the magnetic lines of force pass preferably through vacuum rather than through themselves as shown in figure 2.2. It amounts to saying that in case of diamagnetic substances, the number of lines passing through them is slightly less as compared to the lines of force passing through the vacuum. As a result, diamagnetic substances are slightly repelled by external magnetic field. Diamagnetism is exhibited by all substances which completely filled electronic subshells. Diamagnetism is produced by the orbital motion of the electrons of the atoms or ions or molecules of the substance. Diamagnetic effect arises only when the substance is placed in a magnetic field. It is due to the interaction of the applied magnetic field with the magnetic field induced in a substance with completely filled electronic subshells. The induced magnetic field in case of substances with paired electrons is in the opposite direction to the applied magnetic field. Paramagnetic substances. Paramagnetic substances are broadly defined as substances which are arranged toward the applied magnetic field. The number of lines of force passing through a paramagnetic substance are much more compared to those that would pass through vacuum as shown in figure 2.2b. Paramagnetism is caused by the presence of unpaired electrons. The more the number of unpaired electrons in a substance, the greater is the paramagnetic behavior. We know that most of the transition elements, including F-block elements, are known to contain unpaired electrons. As a result, transition metals display paramagnetic character. All paramagnetic substances have a non-zero magnetic moment of its own. Some of the common examples of paramagnetic substances are aluminium, platinum, chromium, copper sulfate, salt solutions of iron, copper and nickel, and dioxygen molecules. Some of the paramagnetic substances show complicated magnetic behavior which arises due to interaction of individual magnetic moments. The individual magnetic moments interact with one another in such a way so as to align themselves spontaneously. Table 2.1 Classification of magnetic behavior. Type Diamagnetism. Interaction of magnetic field with closed electronic shells. Magnitude at 20 degrees Celsius. Negative very small 10 raised to the power minus 5 to 10 raised to the power minus 6. Temperature dependence of susceptibility none. Field dependence no. Examples NaBr, argon, FeCN6 4 negative. Organic ligands. Paramagnetism. Origin of behavior. Interaction of magnetic field with incomplete electronic shells. Magnitude at 20 degrees Celsius. Positive small 10 raised to the power minus 2 to 10 raised to the power minus 3. Decreases varies inversely with temperature 1 by T. Field dependence no. D and F transition metal ions such as FeCN6 3 negative, Nd3 plus in addition to oxygen and NO2. Ferromagnetism. Interaction with magnetic field causes parallel orientation of molecular magnets over microscopic region of the solid. Magnitude at 20 degrees Celsius. Positive very large 10 raised to the power 0 से 10 raised to the power 2. Decreases become paramagnetic at Curie point. Yes. Metallic FeGdNi. Antiferromagnetism. Origin of behavior. Interaction with magnetic field causes neighboring particles with unpaired spins to interact among themselves. Magnitude at 20 degrees Celsius. Positive very small. Temperature dependence of susceptibility increases above Tn. It varies inversely with T. Below Tn it decreases. Field dependence yes. Examples copper second acetate, MnO, MnO2, FeO, NiO, V2O5. Article number 2.2 Experimental methods of determining magnetic susceptibility. A number of methods for determining the magnetic susceptibility are known. The two important methods commonly used are Gauss method and Faraday's method. Gauss method. The method involves the filling up of finely powdered substance to a certain height in a Pyrex glass tube called the Gauss tube. This tube is suspended from an arm of a sensitive analytical balance in a magnetic field. An electromagnet providing a constant magnetic field in the range 5000 to 20,000 Gauss is generally used. The bottom part of the sample in the stronger part of the magnetic field while the top part of the tube is in a zero magnetic field. The whole assembly is housed inside the enclosed system in order to avoid vibrations of the suspended samples. A diamagnetic representation of the setup is shown figure 2.3. The powdered substance in the Gauss tube is first weighed without the magnetic field and then weighted in the presence of magnetic field. In case of paramagnetic substance, the substance will be attracted strongly towards the magnetic field and will weigh more. This increase in the weight of substance is a measure of the paramagnetism of the substance caused by the unpaired electron. The larger the number of unpaired electrons in the suspended substance, the greater is the increase in the weight in the magnetic field. In case the substance is diamagnetic, a decrease in the weight of the substance is registered when the magnetic is on. Calculation of magnetic moment. The Gauss method is the simplest of all methods for measuring the magnetic susceptibility. The methods measure the force extended on the cylindrical sample suspended in a non-homogeneous magnetic field of an electromagnet. The force action on the sample is given by the expression F is equal to half K A h square. A is equal to cross sectional area of the cylinder. H is equal to intensity of the central homogeneous part of the magnetic field, and K is equals to volume susceptibility. The above expression of force is applicable only if the measurements are carried out in vacuum. However, since the sample is placed in air, the susceptibility due to air K needs to be subtracted from the measured susceptibility. The equation 2.13 is thus modified as F is equals to half AH square K minus K dash, where K dash is the volume susceptibility of air. The gauze tube itself is in the form of a hollow specimen and exerts a force which is always present. In order to evaluate the exact force acting on the sample, the force developed due to the hollow specimen needs to be subtracted from the measured force. The force acting on the hollow specimen delta is negative because the tube is made up of diamagnetic material. The equation 2.14 is further modified to F is equal to half AH square K minus K dash plus delta, where delta is equal to force developed due to hollow specimen. For a specimen of constant length and cross-sectional area, the factor AH square is constant. If we take into consideration the density of the specimen, it is possible to rewrite the equation 2.15 as 10 raised to the power 6 chi is equal to alpha plus beta y dash by omega, where alpha is equal to constant for the displaced air and is equal to 0.029 into volume of the sample. Beta is equal to tube calibration constant. Omega is equal to weight of the sample expressed in grams. F is equal to force on the sample. Gauze tube is calibrated by filling the tube with a substance whose susceptibility is accurately known. The commonly used substance for calibration is deep blue colored compound mercury tetrathiocyanate cobaltate second HDCO-CnS4. Its susceptibility at 20 degrees Celsius is 1.644 into 10 raised to the power minus 7. Once we know alpha, beta, delta and F on the given sample of known weight omega, the volume susceptibility chi can be easily calculated from the equation 2.16. It is important to recall that the susceptibility measured of a given paramagnetic substance consists of contributions both from the paramagnetic and diamagnetic susceptibilities. The contribution due to paramagnetic susceptibility is much larger than the diamagnetic susceptibility. The correct susceptibility of the sample is obtained by subtracting the diamagnetic contribution. Thus, paramagnetic susceptibility is equal to measured susceptibility minus diamagnetic susceptibility. Some of inherent advantages of Gauge method are: first, it requires very simple, easy to assemble equipment. Second, it is reasonably priced equipment. Third, it is easy to handle and use. Fourth, it requires a large amount of the substance, thus an ordinary analytical balance can be used to measure the change in mass. Disadvantages of Gauge method. In spite of several advantages, Gauge method suffer from the following disadvantages. It requires large amount of sample. Second, uniform packing of sample in the Gauge tube is not only tedious and time consuming but is very laborious. Consistent results are not obtained if the packing of the sample is not uniform. Faraday's method. Faraday's method requires a very small amount of the magnetic sample. The sample packed in a quartz ampoule is suspended from a sensitive balance in a region of fairly strong magnetic field as shown in figure 2.4. The sample is suspended between the magnetic poles so that the value of the product H dH by dx is constant over the region occupied by the sample. dH by dx is the gradient of the field. The whole setup is enclosed in a closed system which can be flushed with inert gases like nitrogen or helium. Figure 2.4 Systematic diagram of Faraday's method. A simple sample weighing 0.1 to 10 mg of a substance taken in a ampoule of internal diameter 1 mm is placed in a magnetic field of constant gradient dH by dx. The force acting on the sample is measured directly using a quartz fiber torsion balance and is given by F is equal to m chi h by dH by dx. M is equal to mass of the sample, chi is equal to susceptibility of the sample, h is equal to intensity of the central homogeneous part of the field. dH by dx is equal to gradient of the field in x direction. Similarly, the force exerted by the standard calibrant can be measured by weighing the calibrant both in the field and the out of field. Generally, the calibrant used is mercury tetrathiocyanocobaltate. Second, since the magnetic field H and the field gradient are the same in case of unknown sample and the standard, the force acting on the sample and standard can be rewritten as H into dH by dx is equal to F upon m into chi for unknown sample. H into dH upon dx is equal to Fs by ms dot chi x for standard. Equating 2.18 and 2.19, we get F by m chi is equal to Fs by ms chi s. On rearranging, we can write the relation chi is equal to Fms chi s by Fsm, where chi and chi s are the susceptibilities of the sample and the standard. M and ms are the respective masses, while F and Fs are the respective forces at constant H into dH by dx. Advantages of Faraday's method. First, Faraday's method requires a very small quantity of the substance and the sample need not be homogeneous. Compared to Gouet's method, which require larger amounts, 1 gram, this method requires only several milligrams, 10 mg. Second, Faraday's method gives the specific susceptibility directly. On the other hand, Gouet's method gives volume susceptibility. In order to convert volume susceptibility into specific susceptibility, one needs to know precisely the density of the sample. It is difficult to determine precisely the density of solids because the values of density depend upon the packing of solids. Disadvantages of Faraday's method. The main disadvantages of this method are: first, the equipment is very delicate and requires great manual skill. Second, since only a very small amount of the sample is used, reaction occurring at the surface of the sample will lead to large errors. Relationship between magnetic susceptibility and magnetic moments. The magnetic susceptibility Chi_m is related to magnetic moment mu by the relationship Chi_m is equal to n naught mu square by 3 kT. N naught Avogadro number, K Boltzmann constant, T absolute temperature. Rearranging the equation 2.22, we get mu square is equal to 3k by n naught Chi_m into T. Mu is equal to 3k by n naught root Chi_m into T is equal to constant into Chi_m into T, where the constant root 3k by n naught is equal to 2.828. Thus, the magnetic moment can be calculated from the magnetic susceptibility using the relation mu is equal to 2.828 into Chi_m dot T. Variation of magnetic susceptibility with temperature, Curie and Curie-Weiss law. We have learned the magnetic susceptibility varies with temperature and is therefore temperature dependent. It was shown by Pierre Curie that the magnetic susceptibility vary inversely with temperature. Chi_m inversely temperature. Chi_m is equal to C by T. C is equals to constant characteristics of substance known as Curie constant, and T is equal to absolute temperature. The above expression stating paramagnetic susceptibilities vary inversely with temperature is called Curie law. A large number of paramagnetic substances obey this sample law, especially at high temperature. If we plot a graph between Chi_m and absolute temperature T, a parabolic curve is obtained as shown in figure 2.5a. However, if we measure Chi_m for a substance at several temperatures and then plot 1 by Chi_m values against absolute temperature, a straight line with slope C is obtained as shown in figure 2.5b, which intersects the origin. Curie law is obtained by substances where there is no spontaneous interaction among the adjacent unpaired electrons. In other words, there is no secondary magnetic interactions between the neighboring magnetic centers. Such a substance is called magnetic dilute. Although a large number of substances display this behavior, many substances give straight lines that do not pass through the origin, rather interacts the temperature axis a little above the 0 Kelvin or little below the 0 Kelvin. Such compounds are stated to obey modified Curie equation, according to which figure 2.5 magnetic susceptibility magnetic temperature curve. Chi_m is equal to C by T minus theta, where theta is the temperature at which the straight line cuts the absolute temperature T axis. The modified equation is called Curie-Weiss law. Theta is known as Weiss constant. Taking into consideration Curie-Weiss law, the magnetic moments can be obtained by the equation is equal to 2.828 root Chi_m into T minus theta Bohr magneton. Ferromagnetic and antiferromagnetism. We have learned the magnetic properties in case of paramagnetic substances originate entirely from the individual magnetic centers. It means that there is no secondary interaction between the neighboring magnetic centers. Such type of substances are named as magnetically dilute substances. However, there are some paramagnetic substances in which secondary magnetic interactions exist between the neighboring magnetic centers. Such substances are called magnetically concentrated substances. In these cases, the magnetic susceptibility shows dependence on both temperature and field strength. Two such important type of magnetic substances are called ferromagnetic and antiferromagnetic. The dependence of susceptibility of these two forms displayed. Figure 2.7 Magnetic susceptibility temperature curve for ferromagnetic substances. Figure 2.8 Magnetic susceptibility temperature curve for antiferromagnetic substances. A close inspection of figure 2.7 reveals that there is some discontinuity in the curve at a temperature marked Tc on the curve. This temperature is called Curie temperature. Above the Curie temperature, all ferromagnetic substances obey Curie or Curie-Weiss law. In other words, above Curie temperature, all ferromagnetic substances behave as simple paramagnetic substances. However, below Curie temperature Tc, the magnetic susceptibility's behavior is different and depends upon the field strength. A close inspection of figure 2.8 reveals a characteristic temperature Tn called the Néel temperature. Above Néel temperature of all antiferromagnetic substances follow Curie or Curie-Weiss law and show simple paramagnetic behavior. It is important to note that below Néel temperature Tn, the magnetic susceptibility decreases with decreasing temperature. It is important to remember that a diamagnetic substance has its magnetic susceptibility independent of temperature. 2.5 Magnetic moments. An electron has two types of motion associated with it. One is its going around the nucleus in an orbit, while the other is spinning about its own axis. Since electron is a charged species, its movements generates a magnetic field. Thus, electrons determine the magnetic properties in two ways. The magnetic moment associated with the motion of electrons around the nucleus is called the orbital moment, while the magnetic moment associated with the spinning of the electron on its own axis is called spin moment of the electron. The resultant magnetic moment is the sum of the orbital moment and the spin moment of the electron. We have already discussed that the magnetic moments of substances are generally expressed in terms of units called Bohr magneton, abbreviated as Bohr magneton. The contribution of the magnetic moment from the spin moment of the electron is called spin-only moment, mu. It is numerically equivalent to 1.73 Bohr magneton. The Bohr magneton is defined as 1 Bohr magneton is equal to Eh upon 4 pi mc. E is equal to charge of the electron, H is equals to Planck's constant, m is equals to mass of the electron, c is equal to velocity of light. The spin magnetic moment mu s of a single electron is given by the formula mu s is equal to g into root s into s minus s plus 1, where s is equal to spin quantum number 1 by 2 and g is equal to Gauss-magnetic ratio. Gauss-magnetic ratio, g is the ratio of the magnetic moment of the angular momentum. In case of free ion, the value of g is 2.00023. For all practical purposes, the value of g is taken as 2. On substituting the value of s and L by 2 at that of G is S2. The spin magnetic moment for a single electron comes out to be 1.732 Bohr magneton. Mu s is equal to G into root S into S plus 1 is equal to 2 into root 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 plus 1, that is root 3 is equal to 1.732 Bohr magneton. For atoms or ions with some more than one unpaired electron, the resultant spin moment is given by mu s is equal to g into root s into s plus 1, where s is equal to sum of spin quantum number of the individual electrons. Since the value of g is taken as 2.0, the equation 2.29 can be rewritten as mu s is equal to root 4s into s plus 1. Metal ions of d block elements may have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 unpaired electrons, and consequently their spin magnetic moments can be calculated by the equation 2.30. It is important to remember that the sum of the spin of paired electrons is equal to 0. There is another convenient way in which the spin only movement can be expressed as mu s is equal to root n into n plus 2, where n is the number of unpaired electrons. The experimentally determined values of the magnetic moments of some transitions metal ions are in good agreement with the spin only values. However, in some cases, the experimentally determined values have been found to be larger than the theoretically predicted values. This can be attributed to the contribution made by orbital motion of the electron in addition to the spin only value. In cases where both the spin and orbital magnetic moments contribute, the total magnetic moment is given by the equation mu s plus L is equal to root 4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1, where s is the resultant spin angular momentum and L is the resultant angular momentum quantum number. The experimentally determined magnetic moments of some of the first transition series are summarized in table 2.2. Along with the magnetic moment values are frequently greater than the spin only values mu s, but to the orbital motion of the electrons is very small. It means the orbital movements are partially or completely quenched. This is primarily because the electric field of the ligand surrounding the metal ion restrict the motion of the electrons. In case of elements of the second and third transition series, and particularly the lanthanoid elements, the orbital motion is not quenched. This is because the 4f orbitals are incompletely filled and are too far inside the overlying 5s and 5p orbitals. Thus, the electric field of the surrounding coordinating ligands does not restrict the orbital motion of the electrons. Therefore, the magnetic moments of lanthanide ions result from the contributions of both the electron spin as well as the orbital motion of the electron. The intrinsic magnetic moments of atoms and molecules are made up of the vectorial sum of the orbital and spin moments of impaired electrons. There are three types of interactions are possible: spin-spin, orbital-orbital, and spin-orbital interactions. In case of lanthanide metal ions, all the three interactions play an important role. In such cases, the resultant magnetic moment can be calculated by means of Russell-Saunders coupling, known as LS coupling, by the relation mu is equal to G into root J plus 1. Where J is the total angular momentum, which is the vectorial sum of the total angular momentum L and the total spin angular momentum S. G is the Landau splitting factor given by G is equal to 1 plus J into J plus 1 plus S into S plus 1 minus L into L plus 1 divided by 2J into J plus 1. Using the equation mu is equal to G into root J into J plus 1 for the trivalent lanthanide ions, there is found to be good agreement between the observed and theoretical magnetic moment values. If L and S are not coupled to give the resultant J, as in case with ions of small multiplet separation, spin-orbit coupling does not occur. In such a case, both L and J are aligned separately with the external magnetic field, and the magnetic moment values are given by the expression mu s plus L is equal to root f4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1. Problem. Calculate the value of Landau splitting factor G for the free electron. The Landau splitting factor G is given by expression G is equal to 1 plus S into S plus 1 minus L into L plus 1 plus J into J plus 1 divided by 2J into J plus 1. And thus the Landau splitting factor G for free electron is 2. 2.6 Orbital contribution to magnetic moment. We have already discussed that both the spin and orbital motion of the electron are sources of magnetic moment. The total magnetic moment of a material is then made up of two components called the spin and the orbital contributions. Both these contributions are due to the presence of unpaired electrons. However, in many cases, these unpaired electrons are the outermost electrons under consideration and are not screened by other electrons. In such cases, the spin contribution becomes important and the orbital contribution may be neglected. The most common examples include ions of the transition metals. On the other hand, when the unpaired electrons lie well within the ions and thus screened by the outer electrons, inner transition metals, the lanthanides and actinides. The orbital contribution cannot be neglected and must be combined with the spin contribution to give the total magnetic moment. The spin angular momentum of an electron does not depend upon the chemical environments. As a result, the spin moment of the unpaired electron is not perturbed by the changes in the chemical bonding of the compound. However, this is not the case with orbital angular momentum, which depends upon the chemical environments. Consequently, the orbital motion of the electron is very much restricted. This causes the orbital contribution to be reduced or quenched in the complex. This quenching of orbital angular momentum can be easily explained on the basis of crystal field theory. The unpaired electrons in a first transition series metal ion are located in the 3d orbitals. A transition metal ion has 5 3d orbitals, all of which possesses the same energies and are degenerate. In order to generate the orbital magnetic moment, the electron should go around the nucleus via these orbitals. This is possible if all the three conditions are satisfied. The orbital should be degenerate. The orbital should be of similar shape and size. They should be transformable into the another by rotation about some axis. The orbital must contain electrons of identical spin. In a crystal field, the degeneracy of d orbitals are split. For example, in an octahedral environment, the 5 d orbitals are split up into the two groups of different energies, and e.g. in this energy barrier that restrict the orbital magnetic moment of the electrons. It is important to note, although the set dz square and dx square minus y square orbital are degenerate in the octahedral crystal field, their shapes and such that cannot be transformed into the other by rotation. It means that the condition is fulfilled, therefore each set of orbital cannot regenerate any orbital magnetic moment. Similarly, the electron orbital set in case of tetrahedral complexes cannot generate any orbital magnetic moment. Figure 2.9. Circulation of electron density about z-axis parallel to the plane in dxy and dx square minus y square orbitals. In brief, dxz and dyz orbitals are degenerate, and the dxz orbital can be transformed into dyz orbital by rotating it through 90 degree about z-axis. Now it is the condition 3 that will dictate whether or not the T2G set will degenerate an orbital magnetic moment. Thus, an octahedral complex with D1 and D2 configuration fulfills all the three conditions. However, D3 electronic configuration does not satisfy the condition 3. Hence, D1 and D2 configurations will carry the orbital magnetic moment, but the D3 configuration will not. On the basis of the above discussion, one can predict that the metal ions with electronic configuration D1 and D2 will have orbital contribution, but the complex with configuration will not contribute towards orbital contribution. Table 2.3 lists the electronic configurations of the central metal atom in which the orbital contribution is present or absent in high spin or low spin octahedral complexes with D1 and D9 configurations. Table 2.3 Orbital contribution in high spin and low spin octahedral complexes. Orbital contribution in tetrahedral complexes. When the metal ion is surrounded tetrahedrally by 4 ligands, the 5 3d orbitals split into two sets, that is T2G and EG orbitals. The energies of E orbitals dx square minus y square and dz square are the lower than the energies of T2 orbitals dxy, dyz and dxz. Keeping in view the three conditions 1, 2 and 3, the metal ions with electronic configuration D3, D4, D8, D9 will possess the orbital contributions, whereas metal ions with the electronic configuration D1, D2, D5, D6, D7 will not have orbital contributions. Table 2.4 lists the electronic configurations of the central metal atom in which the orbital contribution is present of absent in tetrahedral complexes with D1 to D9 electronic configuration. A comparison of the data in table 2.3 and table 2.4 with the data of table 2.2 reveals that in cases where no orbital contribution is expected, the magnetic value differ only slightly from the spin only value. This explains why in tetrahedral nickel second, octahedral cobalt second and octahedral iron second complexes, The magnetic moment is higher than the spin-only magnetic moment. Further, inspection of table 2.3 reveals that an octahedral nickel second complex and a tetrahedral cobalt second complex will have the spin-only magnetic moment. However, in reality, such a complex exhibits a magnetic moment larger than μs. This is because the excited state of these complexes carry the orbital magnetic moment. In a system having such an excited state, the spin-orbit coupling brings about some mixing of the ground state with the excited state, thus forcing some orbital contributions. The magnetic moment in such cases can be calculated from the following formula: mu effective is equal to μs into 1 minus a lambda by delta. Μs is equal to spin-only moment. The lambda is equals to spin orbit coupling constant. Del is equals to difference in the energy level between the ground and higher state. Alpha is equal to constant depending upon the spectroscopic terms. Table 2.5. Spin gives the value of lambda and alpha for a few transition metal ions. It is clear from the table 2.5 that the value of lambda is positive from D1 to D5 and negative from D6 to D10. This clearly explains why the magnetic moment values determined in case of copper second complexes are larger, whereas in case of chromium second complexes are small than the spin-only values. Orbital contribution in complexes of lower symmetry. We have already noted that the probability of orbital contribution is less if the symmetry of the complex is lower. In case of square planar or square pyramidal complexes, the orbital contribution is possible only in case of D2 and D4 electronic configurations. In case of trigonal bipyramidal complexes, the orbital contribution will be observed in case of electronic configurations via D1, D3, D4 and D5. The orbital contribution in case of dodecahedral will be observed if the electronic configuration is D7 and D9. A number of compounds are known that show peak paramagnetism in spite of the fact that there are ground state do not have unpaired electrons. Two such examples are provided by the permanganate ion. Temperature independent paramagnetism, likewise diamagnetism, is not due to the magnetic dipole within the molecule. Instead, it is induced when the substance is placed in the magnetic field. This is induced susceptibility of the ground state is temperature independent. The magnitude of magnetic susceptibility of TIP is the same order as that of diamagnetic substance.